Good morning, everybody. Winter storm warnings are in effect for us today. We have issued a severe weather alert day, so you're going to notice a lot of these red banners on our forecast graphics today just to kind of grab your attention today and alert you to the fact we do expect accumulating snow. It will be a high impact event. Think about what we had about, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, back on Saturday when it snowed so much. This is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a heavier, wetter snow, at least at the beginning. It may be a little bit more fluffy toward the end, but this one you're going to be able to make some snowballs with, some snowmen, stuff like that. First alert Doppler radar shows the snow beginning to make a transformation from rain to sleet to snow the further north you go in our viewing area this morning. We'll zoom in a little tighter here. The snow, of course, would be in white. The mix would be here in pink, or purple rather, and we're finding some of that from right around northern sections of Augusta County. Near us here in Harrisonburg, it's a little more sleety out there now than it was about an hour ago, and this extends up toward Page County as well. Toward Woodstock, Edinburgh, Shenandoah County, we're starting to see a few more reports of some light snow. Over in Oldfields, West Virginia, a report of about a half of an inch of snow. It was light snow in Franklin earlier. Now we're starting to get reports of more moderate snow over toward Franklin and along 33. So if you must travel from, say, Franklin to Harrisonburg across 33 this morning, you need to get out there and do it right now because the roads are going to get worse in a hurry over the next, say, 90 minutes or so. Once it goes to snow, it's going to stay as snow. As we go beyond lunchtime, it may break up from time to time just a little bit, but still expecting snow to continue until 3 or 4 o'clock, pulling away around 5 o'clock. The other thing I want to point out to you, the temperatures are going to fall today, and the other thing I want to point out as far as the snow is concerned, there probably will be some banding, or at least when we look at radar here in the weather office, what we call bright banding, and that could mean some intense snowfall rates of perhaps an inch or more per hour. 7 to 10, maybe 11 inches, Moorefield to Petersburg to right around the Franklin area, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 inches here in most of Rockingham and Augusta County, Page County as well. So again, if you have any driving to do, not that I would really recommend you doing it, but you need to do it now, not later today. So we're going to find temperatures in the 30s pretty much right now. They're going to be falling. Look at this tomorrow morning. Just 4, 5, 6 degrees above zero. So anything, even though the skies will rapidly clear and Arctic high pressure builds in with dry air, it will be cold tonight.
I am at probably the busiest intersection right now here in Harrisonburg. This is Market Street and Reservoir Street. Now, I've already seen a wreck. We've had the Rockingham County Sheriff in the area. People have really been struggling to get up this hill, and that's really because we have a fine layer of ice underneath all this snow. Now, many plows have come by, but if you look at the road, it really doesn't look like it. So with the ice, you do want to make sure that if you do have to go outside and shovel, be careful. Make sure you have a steady foot because any of that ice could make you possibly slip and fall. So be very careful. Now, the snow that we're seeing right now is very heavy and it's also very wet as well. This is great snow for making snowballs if the kids want to go outside and play. And luckily, temperatures right now aren't too terrible, probably right about in the 20s. So it isn't a bad day to get outside and enjoy the snow. Just make sure you stay at home. Try not to be on the roads. As you can see, traffic is very difficult right now. Back to you, Brian.
Absolutely. And we all know this started as rain last night. So underneath the snow, we had that layer of ice. We called for 5 to 8 inches for the valley, 7 to 11 for the higher elevation. Snowfall totals from our weather watchers coming in right in between that range. Do you know how hard it is to forecast snow? This forecast was very, very well put together. Sugar Grove at 9.5 inches, Franklin at 8, Waynesboro and Harrisonburg at 6, Southern Augusta County, Middlebrook calling in 5 inches, also about 5.5 inches in Fishersville as well. So we had expected Southern Augusta County to just kind of graze the lower end of those expected snowfall totals. Right now, we're seeing very fine snow. If not, it's stopped in some areas. You can see First Alert Doppler radar and satellite where we see some light snow showers in Southern Augusta County, but we do have a band off to the west. I don't expect too much more from that, but we will continue to see some light snow showers or at least some flurries right into this evening. Now, temperatures right now into the low to mid 20s, so they have certainly cooled throughout the day, and that's why we've kind of ended with more of this light, fluffy, finer snow. This evening, the big problem is going to be ice. Again, there's a layer of ice underneath the snow, and temperatures quickly dropping into the teens. It's going to be rapid cooling for tonight. I'll talk about what you can expect for tomorrow morning and also for your weekend. I'll have that coming up in a few more minutes.
Started out this morning very wet and heavy, and my back can attest to that because I had to do some shoveling, and it was tough, and my back is, well, it's reminding me I was shoveling some wet and heavy snow this morning. During the day, it became a little drier, a little lighter, a little fluffier. I have some here. This morning, you could make a snowball and really get some fun out of that thing. This stuff here, I don't know. You might be able to make a snowball, but I don't think you're going to break any windows with it. It's pretty fluffy out here, not really staying together. As Aubrey just mentioned, it's really a few flurries here and there. This thing is tapering off. But as we go through the evening, I think there are bigger problems in store for us tonight. You're going to have to be careful. And Aubrey's going to be talking about that in just a few minutes.
March snowstorms, not exactly a rare event in the Shenandoah Valley. In fact, our odds are pretty good for some March snowstorms. Now, take a look at this storm. This marks 7 years in a row we've seen accumulating snow in March. The last 2 years, boy, have we seen some good heavy snowstorms. And 2 years ago today, we were just starting to deal with another storm, the March 5th and 6th snowstorm of 2013. Snowfall from that storm ranged from around a foot to about 20 inches in some areas. Certainly with this storm, we didn't see anything near that much, but certainly enough to cause problems. And as we head into next week with warmer temperatures, as George was mentioning, we will have to keep our eyes on the potential for some flooding.
Well, the winter storm is moving out of the valley, but there's a new danger developing. Hi, everybody. I'm Channing Frampton.
And I'm meteorologist George Hirschman.
So we talked about the snow earlier today, but George, there's a new threat moving in. What are you watching?
Well, the snow's going to be there a bit, but now the temperatures are falling. We have a wind chill advisory for the night until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
-5, -15. Ooh, not fun, folks. Be careful. And that means the roads are going to be icy tonight for sure.
Right.
And we've got, once again, weather team coverage going on. So we're going to check in with meteorologist Aubrey Urbanowitz, who's live in downtown Harrisonburg. And you got some news with the cleanup efforts, some of which are already underway. Aubrey?
That's right, George. Many people have already started shoveling and clearing out areas, salting. And remember, if you haven't shoveled yet or you need to do more tomorrow morning, the top layer is light, but there is a heavy layer of heavy wet snow underneath. That makes for some very heavy shoveling. So as you're out tomorrow or you need to finish shoveling, you really need to use caution. Now, according to the National Weather Service, the #1 cause of winter-related deaths is due to automobile accidents, but second to that is overexertion. That's mainly due to shoveling, which can end up causing people to have heart attacks, believe it or not. So as you are out shoveling or continuing to clear out your driveway, remember the snow is going to continue to condense and become heavier for tomorrow. Give yourself some extra time, take some breaks, do just a little bit at a time, and keep in mind there is a heavy layer of ice underneath that. Boy, is it very icy outside, so be careful because you don't want to fall either.